Peace. My name is MystyMoon, and I am an integrative health coach for women. And my purpose is to help women heal physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And tonight, how appropriate, I normally do my videos in the morning, but this time around I'm doing it at night. I'm going to be talking about shadow work, and I was going to talk about something completely different, but this is what came up, so I'm just going to follow my heart. So here we go, shadow work. Let's get into it. So, shadow work. We oftentimes want to avoid it because it's not fun. It's going into the depths of your yuck, going into the depths of your trauma, of your negative self, the parts that you don't want people to see, that you don't even want to face. But in order for us to have sustainable happiness, sustainable health, we have to embrace the shadow. And as my therapist once said, that true what joy is being able to embrace the light and the dark. Life is duality. The sun rises, the sun sets. We have spring, we have winter. And it's just part of it. There's good and evil, black and white, and so it all has its place. And I've talked about internal family systems on this channel before. I've talked about inner child work before on this channel. And both of those are tools. There's many tools, but that is tools that you can use to access your shadow self. And so as a healer, as a coach, as a therapist, it's even more important that we do our shadow work because we can't give what we don't got. And we're never going to completely master our healing. It's like an onion. There's always going to be a layer underneath it. Because I like to subscribe to the truth that we're not just processing who we are in this lifetime, but we're also processing our past lives. We're processing our ancestors. So, and I really truly feel that our generation, like the indigo children, the star seeds, the rainbow children, the crystal children, we're merely more the star seeds and the indigo children. We came here on a mission. We came here with this warrior-like quality in order to shift the paradigm. Like the crystal and the rainbows, they're all here love and, they're here for compassion and bringing us back to source. But for us indigos, like we have this warrior badass quality about us. And so it's even more imperative that we continue to check ourselves to make sure that we have that balance because we can easily get mental and easily become, mentally agitated. And most indigos come here with a desire to want to be a healer in some way or another, or an artist in some way or another. And both of those types of archetypes are very sensitive. So it's imperative that part of being mindful is continuing doing the work. There's always going to be maintenance. And so what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is just being real with yourself. When a trigger comes up, sit down with yourself and ask yourself, okay, what is this about? This happened to me this morning. This morning I put some time aside to do some shadow work because there's been some anxiety and, I have this past trauma about being accepted. Because when I was younger growing up, I went to six different elementary schools. But not only that, I was a fucking oddball growing up. I was really a strange child. The black girls didn't want to hang out with me because I talked too proper, talked too white. The white girls didn't want to hang out with me because I wasn't black. And I was like into weird things. I was just my own, I marched to the tune of my own drum. And so since I never really belonged to a group, that has been part of my story where I get anxious, where I feel like I'm going to be abandoned, where I feel like people are not going to like me. I'm going to feel like I don't have value. But luckily I've been able to acquire the tools to be able to know that those thoughts are not me. That those thoughts are from my past. Those thoughts are from my trauma. But if I don't continue to work on it, then those thoughts are going to consume me. And then before you know it, I'm acting out my thoughts. And then we have this whole other layer of laws of attraction, right? So whatever you think, you're going to put out there to the universe, and the universe is going to bring that to you. So if I'm constantly in this negative thought process of nobody likes me, I don't have value, then that's what I'm going to manifest. So again, this is why shadow work is so, so, so important, more so than ever before. And it's not pretty, it's not glamorous, it takes a lot of energy. I'm fucking exhausted right now, you guys. Like, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this video at night. Normally I do my videos at like 7 or 8 in the morning, and it's what, 9 o'clock, you know? But it's just part of the process. And especially if you're watching this and you're a healer or a coach or a therapist, I'm talking to you especially. We are the ones that really need to do our work. It's like shamans. Shamans are the ones that goes down into the underground or the underworld to bring up the wisdom. And it takes work, but this is what we committed to do. And it's not always pretty. You know, I love my life. I completely trust in the unfolding of my life. But there's some days where I wake up and I'm just fucking tired. There's days that I wake up where I'm triggered, where I'm in my shit. And one thing that I've learned from my therapist is the importance of being in your emotions. I've talked about that many times before, especially with the emotional eating video that I did. We have to embrace all of our emotions. And that's another thing that I love about internal family systems is that all of these different emotions that we have, you know, like the negative ones, the ones that the parts of us that gets angry and that wants to binge eat, or that wants to just sleep in, or that gets jealous, or, you know, all these negative, quote unquote, we call negative, they're there for a reason. So instead of us trying to push it away, like, no, just love and light, love and light, love and light, then you're not really being authentic to yourself. Then you're not really being in alignment. It takes work to continue to be evolved. We're going through the Great Awakening right now, right? We're all ascending. We just went through the Lion's Gate yesterday. You know, so yes, it's all blissful. Yes, we're ascending, and that's great. And I felt amazing yesterday. I felt amazing when I woke up this morning as well. But it doesn't take away from the fact that there's still that duality, that there's still that shadow work that we have to continue doing. So, yeah, I think that's all I got. Yeah, there was a topic I wanted to talk about, and I'll save it for another time because it's a really interesting topic. But I just felt called to express this because I'm in it right now. And it's an interesting feeling, like when you are aware and doing the work and evolving, when you do the shadow work, it's not doom and gloom. It's an interesting type of awareness because I am absolutely grateful. I am completely in alignment with my life, and I have no doubt about that. But when you're in that space and dealing with your shadow, there's a certain empowerment that you feel because you're not allowing, again, those thoughts to consume you. You're like, okay, I'm aware that you're there. What can we learn? Let's get dirty. Let's get into it. So it's a very mature way of processing emotions. So feel everything. Do your shadow work. Don't be afraid. Face that dragon. Slay it. Or else it's going to slay you. Period. So, this is the time. This is the time to get our shit together. This is the time to not be small, to not hide, because the energy is going to accelerate faster and faster and faster. And then everything you think is going to manifest. So if you're I can't do this, I'm doubting myself, I'm not good enough, nobody likes me, I'm never going to be successful, I'm never going to manifest this and this and this, then that's going to happen. Just like that. But if you continue to be aware, do the work, it's not going to be easy, but you know that it's part of your spiritual evolution. Oh my God, life is so amazing. Even when it gets hard, even when it's dark and then you're in the shadow, it's still amazing. I'm still stoked on life right now, even though I'm exhausted and things are coming up for me. But anyway, I don't want to keep going off on a rant, but I just want to encourage you all, do your fucking shadow work. Don't be afraid. This is where the juice is. This is where it gets interesting because you start to shed. I'll say one more thing before I go. So I took Aaron Dudley, his 21-day Raise Your Vibration Challenge in June. That's when my life really started to shift. And what he said was, it's kind of like being a buoy. I think that's what it's called, like the little ball that bobs in the water where all the boats park their boats or their yachts. And so we are all innately high vibrational beings, right? So that buoy represents, or buoy, I think is what it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about. it just innately floats on the water, right? But if you start putting weight on it, it starts to sink. So when you need to raise your vibration, all that we're doing is just letting go, letting go of the grudges, letting go of the insecurities, letting go of the fear, and then we're rising. It's that easy. Well, it's not that easy, but that's all that we're really doing. Is just simply letting go. And so shadow work gives you that opportunity to just simply let go. It's constant maintenance, but it's worth it because life is just so freaking precious. Oh my God. So when you can let go of all the nitty gritty, the dirt and the crust and the, all those nasty things, then you can really liberate yourself. And again, when the next time the trigger comes, you have a more heightened awareness over it. And then it gets to the point where you're not even really triggered anymore, where you're just like, oh, just, going through life like Tai Chi. When a trigger comes, you just get out of the way and let it use its own momentum to crash into the wall behind you. So that's my share tonight. I hope this inspired you, someone out there in some way or another. If you were vibing with whatever I had to say, please like and subscribe. It helps me to spread my light. It helps me to do my work. I'm just here, just trying to do my inner work so I can help inspire others to do their inner work, so that creates a ripple effect on our planet so that we can all rise up. That's what this is all about. So I send you all love, light, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, and I look forward to the next video. Until then, peace.